What's going on, good people? It's your girl, Dawn Halfkenny, and of course, sitting here beside me is the man himself, Tabari TV.
What's up, Dawn? This is a super dope episode. We got one of my favorite people in the industry, Cas Sigers Beedles. Just came down and talked about her grind as a writer and female director in the game, and I'm super excited about that. And we got a lot to catch up on.
All right. So make sure y'all stay tuned in for this week's episode of Road to Hollywood.
Road to Hollywood. I'm feeling my bowl on.
Okay, I see, Tab. All right, and we are back to another episode of Road to Hollywood. Tab, what's been going on with you?
Man, life has been good. Been traveling, went back and forth to Jersey. Had an opportunity with my main man, Eugene, called me in, and we did the Women's Empowerment Conference at Linked Up Church. That was amazing. And definitely got fed there. So I'm super excited about this episode also. But what's been going on with you? I see you like on planes, trains, automobiles.
I mean, you know, I've been back and forth, from here to the West Coast, but that's all I'm gonna say.
You got everything is under the covers,
God
man.
Is good.
God is good all the time, all
Absolutely.
the time.
So, y'all, I've been trying to put Tab on to Summer Walker.
Okay, here we go.
I mean, I'm a huge fan of Summer Walker's.
Tell me why.
And,
what's going on?
I mean, she just puts you in that vibe. This came from listening to Summer Walker, y'all. This is all summer. But she just announced that she's canceling the rest of her tour dates because she needs a mental break. And I understand, I get it.
Like sometimes you gotta have that work-life balance, and especially when you're artist and you're under extreme demand of shows and trying to make your fans. Sometimes you got to take a mental break. You got to take a mental break.
She admitted to the fact of her being an introvert. I'm an introvert. I'm an extroverted introvert. Do you know what that means?
No, I don't.
That means that I speak because I have to be out because it's a part of my brand. But I like being home. I like chilling. I like being
you look
low-key.
cold. You look it's cuffing season. I'm definitely what I'm gonna do on my next date. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, your next date.
I'm going to test it.
How's Christian Mingo?
Tinder.
How's plenty of fish?
Tinder is actually good. And what's popping right now is on Facebook. They have a dating app that is actually pretty cool.
Are you serious?
I met some cool people. Can you take us out?
I'm just saying, Tab and his date and Summer Walker and Plenty of Fish.
I don't do Plenty of Fish.
Tinder and Christian Mingling.
Wrap this segment up.
Y'all, make sure y'all stay tuned in because, of course, we have a very, very special guest, as Tab mentioned.
What up, everybody? Welcome to the podcast section of this Road to Hollywood with my friend Cas.
Here with me.
Cas doesn't even know why she's here.
I don't.
You're one of the people that really inspire me on your walk in, through filmmaking and to being a parent and being amazing and kind of doing these things. And I constantly see every year you taking different steps. So, it definitely is inspiring to me as a filmmaker, just trying to figure it out.
Gotcha.
And
that's all I am, a filmmaker trying to figure it out.
You're figuring it out.
Yeah.
You're figuring it out.
Yeah, we are in it. It never feels this.
That's what's up.
I was raised in North Carolina.
Okay.
Winston-Salem. Parents are educators. I have a brother. He's an architect. And I told my parents I wanted to be a writer about, 9th, 10th grade. My dad asked, how are you going to make a living? I couldn't explain it. So I went to school for clothing design and textiles.
So you want to be a writer.
I love to write.
Go to school for clothing.
Yep, because he told me he didn't know how I was going to make money. He said, are you going to teach English? And I was like, no, I'm not going to teach anything. I'm just going to write stories. But I could not translate that for him. Like, it didn't. My father's a mathematician. Okay. So that just did not equate. That didn't make sense.
And then he needed the numbers.
He needed the numbers. He's like, okay, I don't really understand how you will make a living. So I suggest you write on the side and pick another major that you can get a job. Okay. And that's what I did.
All right, so when the writing, did you know that you were gonna eventually, start writing scripts, or, how did this writing thing start?
It's a really interesting journey. So went to school for design, worked as a designer, and then I got a job with a company called Rumble Tumble. Company's out of New York, and it was a children's wear company, children's wear design company. But this was in the 90s when music videos had hip-hop budgets, like they had budgets for music videos. So I used to work the job in the day, style music videos all night, because I was in my 20s and I didn't need sleep, and I would be on set on the music videos, and they wanted stories. But it was the beginning of the Hype Williams, okay, we're going to create stories. So I wrote a music video treatment once for a video. And once I got my check for styling the video, they gave me an additional check for the treatment, and it was $1,000. And I was like, what? 95, 96,
a band of motivation.
Right.
A band of motivation.
For a page? I said, I can do this all day. So that's literally was my first
treatment.
Yeah, a treatment. That was my first intro into, okay, there's something to this writing video thing that I can do. But I still didn't really understand it. So I continued to write, continued to just write on the side, wrote a book. And it wasn't until my first book was introduced to my now producing partner. I was on set costuming. She took the book, loved it, took it back to her agent. Her agent wanted to turn it into a television show.
Oh, that's
and that was the start of Nina Holiday and start of really me writing and becoming a filmmaker.
That's dope. That's dope. So, a little Tabari background.
Yes.
I have an affection for North Carolina because I signed P.D. Pablo. I was
I
in the music industry.
Like waving around your hair like a helicopter. That's the only line I know.
Yeah. You know, I was a music A&R for about 10 years, and P.D. was like one of my biggest artists that I had signed. So was always down in North Carolina doing things. Yeah. And then that was during the time of those music videos. Yeah. So if y'all don't know about music videos in the 90s, those budgets were
crazy.
They were crazy. Like a video, I think like Buster's Hoo Ha video cost like $1.5 million.
Yeah. They were like movie videos. Yeah. They were like movie budgets.
Like you could shoot a movie with these budgets.
Yeah,
and
people were getting paid.
The average, I'm talking about low end videos were about $300,000.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
My first video, the budget wasn't that. My first video was Lords of the Underground.
Right. That's
was
right.
my first.
I'm Jersey. That's North.
That was my first music video I did. Yeah, man, that was a good time.
That's what's up, man. So you have, how many books did you write?
I've written 7 books.
All right, 7 books.
Yes.
And so is that like your process where you develop the book and then this is like your Tyler Perry thing?
No, I'm just a crazy writer, man. I love writing books. I know I love writing books more than I like writing screenplays.
Okay.
I write, but I make money writing screenplays. Mm-hmm. I don't make my money writing books.
Okay.
So every now and then, every year or so, I get a hankering to write a book or write a novel, and I'll sit down and I'll just work on it for a year while I'm doing my other jobs. And I've just done that consistently since 2006, 7.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So we were talking about, I was trying to figure out when I started hearing. So Cas was like a person I would just hear about, like this fictitious person that was directing and making movies, and it was like, I was like wanting to get into filmmaking, and everybody was like, you should check out what Cas is doing. You check out what Cas is doing.
That is so funny.
For real. This was around 2009, 2010.
Wow.
And right before I started, jumping into it. But at the same time, I had met Terry because Terry became a character on Meet the Browns.
Correct. Yes.
And so immediately Terry is, hey, Cas is dope. Terry gonna immediately start telling you about Nina Holiday.
Yeah.
Immediately when you meet it,
passion.
and it was real dope just to kind of see, that, because I guess even when you're in the game, you look at people very one-dimensional,
Yes.
And to see, just to work with her, and it was like funny, like she's a really funny professional person.
Absolutely.
Like when we like figuring those funny beats out.
She's
and
amazing.
It was amazing. Yep. I was like, okay, this is the real deal.
Right.
And then also being a filmmaker and having a partner, I just thought you guys were super dope. So how do you go through your process of what films y'all gonna move forward? And tell me about a couple of the films that you got off the ground.
The process is interesting. We first started, literally our business started because I was sitting on Terry's couch and we were in LA and we were getting no's, and the book that she introduced they wanted to turn it into a white show.
Okay.
So they wanted me to go around Terry and basically make the character a white character.
Okay.
And they were like, oh, it's your book. So I said, no, I wouldn't even be here if it weren't for her. So that was really what brought us together.
Mm-hmm.
Well, since then, we were like, we want to create content for African-American women. Terry was like, there are roles I want to play that I can't get. Hollywood's never going to give me those roles. So you write those roles, and I'll get my friends, and we'll make movies and play them.
Yeah.
That literally is how it started. And our first movies were just like that. There were roles she wanted to play, so I would just write a script based on that. Now...
Tell me some of the names of the movies.
We have Girlfriends Getaway 1, Girlfriends Getaway 2.
Ladies, welcome to paradise.
4 friends.
I want to soak it all up, the culture, the music, the men.
That's what I'm talking about.
On a birthday getaway.
I can't believe you brought him here. It's after midnight.
But a little island mischief.
Did you see my mom?
Leads to big trouble.
Cross the Bear was our very first film. We did a series of love films, kind of play-like films for Up TV, which we co-produced with Swirl Entertainment. I think it's Swirl.
Shout out to Eric.
Swirl Films. Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Keith. They were in Wilmington at the time.
Right.
They weren't even here. We did. Oh my gosh, there's so many movies. I recently did When Love Kills. Recently,
What was the one you
3
did
years.
with all the comedians? It was really cool.
With all the comedians. Which one with all the comedians?
And it had something to do with technology.
Oh, Digital Lives Matter.
Digital Lives Matter.
Bust it for the life, bust it up for the life. You better bust it for the life, bust it up.
That's an audition, Pop. That's an audition. I'm gonna be a real actor with Denzel. I'm about to put your ass out. What? Oh yeah. So you can act like you live somewhere.
So Digital Lives Matter was our first self-funded film.
Okay.
So we had done a lot of projects for TV. We do a lot of TV films, where the network provides. So we actually own Digital Lives Matter. That was our first one that Nina Holiday that we funded. We got the money for it, and we actually owned that film. And it was with DC Young Fly, B. Simone, Ernestine Johnson, Emmanuel Hudson, and it was Terry's directorial debut.
That's dope. That's dope
Yeah.
because I remember talking to you guys like early on in that process. I remember like we were working at Moguldom.
Yeah.
And we were working at Moguldom, and you were telling me just telling me about the young talent that was in town.
Right.
And that when you actually gave me that first conversation about, hey, it's these kids that are doing this and they're really popping.
Because I didn't even know about it. Like I was introduced and I went to a couple of their sessions where they just sit around and joke and laugh and cut up and talk. And I'm like, oh my God, it's a whole new breed of comedians.
Right.
That's different from the comedians that we know, that we kind of hung out with. And their platform is social media.
Right.
So Terry and I were like, we should create a film, and it was actually another producer, Ricky Hughes, who actually introduced us to DC and Emmanuel. We should create a movie around this movement, and we did. So it was actually the first movie that DC was in, that he starred in, but not the first one that came out, because Will Packer's Christmas movie came out right before ours came out. But yeah.
Even to create these roles, because I definitely don't know if I would be in the conversation of any of this if I didn't make my own movies.
Absolutely not. None of us would. Terry wanted to direct, but no one was checking for her as a director because they still see her as an actress.
Right.
And that has been a big hurdle. Like you said, you kind of see them one-dimensional. And so Digital Lives Matter was the opportunity for her to become a director.
Right. And I think those sessions that you might have tapped in, look where they are now, that 85 South thing that they're doing.
Oh my
it's
goodness.
Crazy.
It's crazy.
It's like they take the couches on the stage and they just cut up.
Yeah.
And it's becoming a movement.
Yeah.
And I really think really think this stuff. So I recently seen you on a project, and it was like funny. I get a call from Cas a couple of months ago, and she's like, "Yo, you got $800,000?" And she was dead serious.
Right.
And she was dead serious. I was like,
Closed mouths don't get fed.
I was like,
I don't check anybody's pockets. I'm like, secretly, you could be a multi-millionaire.
I was impressed. I was like, she thinks a lot of me.
I do.
But like, if I had it, Cas, like I would have hit the mattress and got it for you, because I know how it is when you trying to put together your films and things like that.
Yeah.
So what film? I seen you on set. So I guess it happened.
It happened. We shot the movie Open. So we had an output deal with a particular network, and we shot Hip Hop Holiday. We shot a holiday movie. We shot a breast cancer series, which actually just aired this past Sunday on BET. And we shot a movie, a romantic drama called Open, and it is airing next year sometime.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
So, and you directed this one?
I directed Open. Yes, I directed one of the shorts in the Waiting Room series, but I wrote and directed Open.
So is this your directorial debut?
Feature debut, yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Well,
it is. I've
congratulations.
directed some other things. Like I directed a few docs and some other stuff, but yeah, this is my directorial feature debut.
All right, and I see some girl power thing going on in
Yeah,
in Atlanta
man.
with all the top females. I'm
You
like,
know
I
what?
was kind of impressed that y'all all just in the same room.
We all in the same room, which is rare.
Yeah.
Which is unless somebody's having a luncheon or award show. Yeah, that started the Real Divas Initiative. It started because we were looking through Hollywood Reporter, and Terry and I were looking at Vanity Fair, one of those layouts where it's Oscar season and all the women lay out in the beautiful dresses, and most of them don't look like us, and they look all glamorous and they're black. And I'm like, we should take a picture with all of our friends that are dope in our black dresses. And that's how it really started. But then it moved to, we need meetups. We need to share opportunities. We need to share connections. Why are we not doing more of that? We're all here working. We're all here doing amazing things. We all have incredible resumes. And so from there, we partnered with Ty Johnston Chavis. She does the Atlanta Pitch Summit.
Yeah.
She is definitely where I'm a creative, I'll put something out in the universe, but I don't always put it down on paper unless we're ready to go to production. But Ty is someone that if you give her an idea, she's going to organize and galvanize and get the troops going. So we partnered with her, and we got 20 women together with that are writers, producers, and directors, and we all got in one room. Donna Purnell shot our picture, and we have organized and we've turned it into a real group. So it is actually a full LLC, soon to be a 501c3, and it's an advocacy membership guild where we are going forth and we will have network meetings, we'll have meetups, we will have a scholarship fund, we will have a grant fund. And we've gotten such crazy response. Like from Deadline article, we've done, I don't know how many interviews we've done. We've done tons of interviews. I think we're about to do some more television stuff next week, and hopefully in about 2 weeks we'll have a big announcement.
Nah, it was so dope to see, just to see that collective together, because I love Black Girl Magic, so that was one of the things. But like Angie Bones definitely gave me a lot of my knowledge of just film production. Autumn is just definitely a big influence in town. Shantae Page, and we go back to the music industry, so it was like just like seeing all you guys
doing
in there.
Amazing thing. Everybody's and seeing the journey, kind of like what you were saying earlier with when you're watching kids sports and you're watching them online social media. Like we've seen the journey of these women and men even in Atlanta. Atlanta is such a unique little bubble where it's not that many of us doing it, but when you see the grind, you can't help but respect people's grind. When okay, I've seen 10 years, I've seen what they've done for 10, 15 years, and see where they are now. I was so honored, even though we pulled the room together, when we were in it, I was like, man, this room is dope. Like, it's so much dopeness in this room.
And I think you probably go through the same thing as I do, just being a part of an incubator for actors and talent behind the camera, and just like you said, watching them and you seeing them when they first stepped on set. Like I have so many people that come to me and was like, yo, the first set that I was on was yours, and now that they're regulars on TV shows and starring in movies now and stuff like that, and it like blows me away.
I'm about to give you one even better. Okay. So Storm Reed, who is a huge star now, was just recently in town shooting Suicide Squad 2. She was one of the actors in Across the Bear, which was our first film. She was 7, about to be 8 years old. Wow. And she was here in Atlanta. She was a local actress. She hadn't even moved to LA at the time. And her mom and I have kept in touch through the years. So now we are actually producing some things together. But just seeing that journey and seeing that sacrifice, her mom having to leave Atlanta, having to move, that just tells you, but it's the same. I mean, Terry, same thing. Terry was on television, then she was on television, seeing her watch and grow and direct. Angie, I mean, it's just, again, there's so many stories here in Atlanta. It's a special place here, man.
It definitely is a special place, and I think at one time, and this is what I'm going to kind of put back on us, earlier, maybe like around 2011, 2012, every weekend somebody was shooting something.
Yep.
Every weekend. It was a short film, there was a web series, like we were on, and you know, the couple of people that I had down here, like George Pierre and
Who is blown up.
yeah, it's blown up, and Brad James and all these, like we were all on, and we need to get back to that. You know what I'm saying? Everything doesn't have to be, you know, a $5 million movie. Like we got some ideas we want to put together and kind of just do that. So I'm putting that out there to the whole community to get back on there. So what's next for you?
Oh my God, what's next? What are we doing? We've got the Real Diva Initiative. We've got some big things popping that you'll hear about over the next few months. I'm just in post-production trying to get all these movies delivered. So Open will be out next year. So that will be a huge thing. And that's it. Now we're in development. I'm just in development right now. I don't have any projects like about to start. So I'm writing. This is what I love. I love when everything is in post and I can start writing again. Okay. So I've got 3 projects that I'm writing on, and yeah, hopefully I'll sell 1 or 2 of them next year.
I say you're gonna sell all 3. If you have some inspiring filmmakers and writers, what inspirational note would you give them, or what guidance you would give them as they're coming into the game?
Man, listen to your voice. Listen to your voice. This world and this entertainment world can be very distracting. Okay. And people can try to pull you into their vision quickly. And stick with what you know you are passionate about and you want to do, and do it whether you have money or not. So if you're a writer, don't feel like you have to wait until someone gives you a budget to write. If you're a producer, again, the young people have the answers. I think we're a little jaded, but when I'm just saying, you're not 20, you're not 19. These teenagers, I mean, they are shooting full-on movies with their iPhones, and I think, again, because they don't wait. They're not used to, you can do it now. Right. Where I think for us, and I would say the generation right before millennial, whatever we're called. I don't know what we're called, but whatever that is.
I don't even know. I think generation.
I don't know. Everyone 35 and older. How about that?
Next.
Right. I don't know what we are.
I have to Google that.
I don't know. But you know, we tend to wait for the right moment and the opportunity to approach us instead of us going out and making the opportunity.
Yes.
And that would be my word. It's like, do not wait. Don't wait, create. I think Ernestine Johnson told me that. Well, Ernestine Johnson says that all the time. Don't wait, create. Yeah, and that's what you have to do, because you have to, it's the market is too flooded. If you don't bring attention to yourself, people will not see you.
Okay.
So
thank you, Cass. I really appreciate you coming down and shedding some light on your journey and inspiring us, because you definitely inspire me. So thank you for coming out to this episode of Road to Hollywood, and please stay tuned for the next episode. Thank you, Cass.
Thank you.
So Tab, that was a very informative interview with Cass.
Yeah, Cass is super dope, and you know, we give the people the information. That's what they be telling me that we be doing.
That's what
they be saying they need the information, and we got the information, and we giving it to the people.
And that is true, and that's exactly what Road to Hollywood is about. So make sure y'all like, comment, share,
follow, subscribe,
all the above. The link is always in our bio. So make sure you check it out. All right. Anything else, Tab?
That's it.
All right, that's it. Thank y'all for tuning in to Road to...
Don't do it.
Sing it. I thought you was going to sing it.
Hollywood.